war rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and our FLGS partner, Warpfire Minis. Today's battle showcases beautiful thematic dice from Baron of Dice. Grab your own or get a custom set made at baronofdice.com.
Hello and welcome to Season of War. Today we have a very exciting game of Age of Sigmar. My name's Jordan and I'm joined by Ridge today.
Hello, hello.
And we've got the first game with the new Stormcast Eternals Battle Tome. A big thank you to Games Workshop for sending us an early copy and obviously some of the new models so that we could get them on the table and feature them for you guys. So just a heads up that we did get those, but obviously exciting times. Ridge, you're then bringing out the Skaven for the second battle with the new tome on the channel. And obviously we've got the Skaven box set matchup head-to-head here.
Yes, it's good to have Skaven out playing Stormcast. It is the classic, super old, the Empire-ish kind of humans with the underlings of all the rats. So should be a fun one.
Yes, and jumping into the mission, we are playing Feral Foray today. So there's 6 objectives on the table. It's hold 1, hold 2, hold more for storing. And then at the start of each battle round, you can burn 1 objective in enemy territory that you control and contest. If you're the underdog, you only have to contest it, but it basically turns off that objective for the round.
For scoring, yeah.
But that's it for the mission. Ridge, do you want to take us through your list?
Yes, so I have a bunch of lists I want to try, but I feel like I did dirty to Vizik last game, so I apologize for that. We filmed that game a while ago, so I didn't realize that his prayers are actually any hero phase. So he can actually pray in Jordan's hero phase as well. I think Skaven actually ended up still winning that game, but he didn't really do much, so I wanted to bring him back on because I really want to see him do a bit more. So we have Vizik, and then in his regiment I have a unit of Storm Vermin, so we are playing Claw Horde, so this gives extra rend to Verminous units on the charge. Maybe not the greatest, but I wanted to also showcase the Storm Vermin, so we're trying that out, and we have the new Kritok Foulblade hero as well, so wanted to try him out too. So the list is we have the Big Rat, and then we have 20 Storm Vermin and a unit of Clan Rats, and then we have a Grey Seer in the 2nd Regiment with a unit of 20 Storm Vermin and a unit of Clan Rats as well. And then I do have actually a unit of 6 Rattling Guns in one of the, either Vizik's or the Grey Seer's Regiment, which they can take anything anyways. So yeah, it was 1950, so I'll have a CP turn 1, and I'm just playing Kronspine because I have a 3d6 cast on the Grey Seer, and I only have 1 cast. So that is the list, yeah.
Nice. Well, obviously to face off against you, we got the Stormcast Eternals. We are playing Sentinels of the Bleached Citadel, so this will let me give a Ruination Chamber unit a 5-up ward save each turn. And then for my general today, I have Yndrasta, who's actually deep striking. She'll be my warlord general since she's a war master. And in her regiment is just a unit of 6 launch strike raptors. And then I have Iridan, the witness here. So this is the named hero on the Morgriff, obviously built as the other one, but just because rule of cool. In his regiment, I have 2 units of 5 Vigilors and a unit of 5 Liberators, which are holding objectives for me right now. And then I have the new Knight Azeros model off the table as well. In his regiment is my unit of 6 Prosecutors, and the Underworld's unit, Dominator's Storm Coven, which is a neat little unit with a cool spell. And that is the list. For my traits, we've got the Mirror Shield on the Knight Azeros, and he's also got Envoy of the Heavens to give me a 5-up ward on a unit if something is slain the previous turn. And then for my manifestation lore, I just chose Primal Energy. And for my seasonal rule here, obviously there isn't really a super relevant one. So I'm just going to give Bodyguard to the launch strikes for Yndrasta, just in case it comes up, but that's going to be it. So we were both 3 drops here actually. I did win the roll-off to decide who goes first, Ridge. And with that, I am going to give you first turn here, Ridge. So let's jump into Skaven turn 1.
Let's do it. All right, so the start of my turn, I am going to choose take their land, and I'm going to pick the forest on the western side by my Gnawhole. We are going to go first into casting, so I'm just going to go right away for the Kronspine with the Grey Seer, and he's going to cast this on 3d6. That is going to be a 10.
I'll try to unbind it. No, we tie it though.
All right, so that's gonna be outside 9. So first we're gonna go for Bile Torrent and probably just gonna bank these. Sweet, so 5, so we'll bank those 5 points. Okay, and then with those 5 bank, we're gonna go for Rabid Tough, which we do get off. So, and because that's off on an 8, I will get -1 to wound on these clan rats and then +1 to save as well. Alrighty, and that's gonna be it for my hero phase. So let's go into movement. So first I'm just gonna auto 12 the clan rats on the western side. And the Jezzails are going to come down into this cover. All right, so that's going to be it for my movement phase. So let's go for a big charge with the Cron Spine. So just looking for a 9. Nope, can't reroll that, so that's going to be it.
Timid in the opening stages of the battle, the Skaven position themselves behind their manifestation, ready to unleash their firepower and stab with their foul blades once close combat is met.
Okay, so pretty calm turn 1. Putting the Null over here just kind of making Jordan think that I was going to possibly pop the Rattling Guns over here and unload on the Vigilors. Now it's only 15-inch range, so if I pop them out, I was kind of leaving them pretty close to the front. And he could redeploy now as well, so like you could easily just have got out of range. So I figured I would just get them safe into my forest here. And yeah, just kind of more of a positioning turn. And I'm gonna get my tactic, and I won't get more, but I'll get hold 2, so I will score 8.
Yeah, solid first turn. Obviously slow opening as we typically see. Depends on the army.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess then we'll just head into Stormcast Eternals, turn 1. All right, so my battle tactic here is going to be do not waver, so I have to fight with 2 units and have none of them slain. Then into the hero phase, because my Storm Coven is on the objective, they get +1 to their power level, so they'll be up to 2. And they're to use their first cast to try and banish your Cron Spine, which they'll fail that on a 6. Then for their second spell, they're going to try and cast Aftershock on my Prosecutors, which would give them strikes first, and we'll fail that on a 4. And for Sentinels of the Bleached Citadel, I am going to give Iridan a 5-up ward save. And then he's going to try to chant for Blessed Weapons on the Prosecutors, which he fails on a 1. So not the best start, but that's going to be our hero phase.
Okay, so then in mine, I just have Vizic's Prayers, so he's just going to go for Death Frenzy on his own prayer, which I am going to roll a 1 on. And then there's no point for me to Magical Intervention and pray with him now, so I'm just going to let that 1 be a 1. And then I'm just going to do my 3 Claw Steps ahead. Okay, there you go.
All right, then into movement. And then exciting times here, I'm going to activate the Stormreach portal for the first time here and pick a unit that's wholly within 6, which is going to be my Prosecutors, and teleport them. And then I'm also going to bring down my Knight Azuros and my Launch Strike Raptors. And that's going to be it for my movement phase.
Yeah, I obviously just might as well go for the redeploy here to deny the tactic to a 6.
All right, then it's time to jump into the shooting phase. And we're going to start with one of the units of Vigilors shooting at your Cron Spine.
The first unit of Vigilors deals 5 damage to the Incarnate, and the Storm Coven deals an additional 8 wounds. The second unit of Vigilors then splits their shots, dealing 1 damage to finish off the Incarnate, and 2 wounds to the Storm Vermin.
And then I'm going to shoot the Launch Strike Raptors at the Storm Vermin, also getting the +1 to hit now.
And I'm going to use all defensive.
When the long strikes fire into the Storm Vermin, they land 5 shots, taking out 10 more of the armored rats.
And then we're going to jump into charges, and I'm going to start off with my Prosecutors. They'll get a 12-inch charge on their 3d6. Mm-hmm. And then we'll charge the Knight Azuros for a 4. And then we're just going to start off combat with the Prosecutors.
Unsurprisingly, the Prosecutors destroy the Gnawhole when they attack. and because he charged, the Knight Azyros gets to use a fight action and pile in as well.
And then the Knight Azyros is going to use his Light in the Dark ability with his lantern on my prosecutors, looking for a 3-up. We get it, so they're going to get to do a normal move.
After falling back to relative safety, the Stormcast Eternals land the first strike of the battle, destroying a Gnawhole, the Incarnate, and weakening one of the more threatening units of rats.
All right, so that's going to be it for Stormcast turn 1, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just glad not to be for sure taking an Incarnate to the face if you take the turn or get the turn. And while I would have liked to take out the Storm Vermin, we still did some damage into them.
Quite a bit, yeah, with all its defense. Still killing 12, it's huge.
The prosecutors and stuff didn't really get to, I guess we saw they did a ton of damage, 14 to your Gnawhole, but it's cool to show the ability from the Knight Azyros to let them move. Sets them up in maybe a better position or lets them get super defensive, so that kind of lets you play hit and run a little bit, which is a skill set that Iridan has too, which I actually would have loved to showcase here. If not for your Rattling Guns and the potential threat of their covering fire, I would have potentially thrown him up to go in and take down the Incarnates to free up more shooting into other stuff, knowing that he can use either his retreat ability, which would need a 2-up against your Clan Rats to be able to retreat 12 inches away, or even worst case scenario, I'll power through because I have the CP. Would have let me do hit and run, but because he flies, you would have been able to see and shoot him. So.
Yeah.
And then noteworthy with the battle tactic, because I made a charge move with both of those units, they are eligible to do the fight ability, regardless of the fact that whether or not they're in combat. So that's where I was able to achieve the battle tactic. With just the train, same thing, you see people do that against endless spells a lot, that tactic. But otherwise, that's it for the turn. Yndrasta is still up in the sky, hoping you have to expose yourself a little bit now. And let's jump into priority for round 2.
Oh, let's do it.
That's a 4.
That's a 1.
And while there would be some good options to take the turn and try and do some damage, just with some of the tools and tricks that Skaven has, I think I'm going to play it cautious and try and survive the turn, giving it away and jumping into Skaven turn 2.
Well, let's do it. But so the battle run, I'm just going to put my Gnawhole here. All right, I'm actually going to go for Ordained Charge here, which means I have to charge with 2 different units. I'm going to choose the middle objective of Jordan's, and yeah, got to charge 2 units, and then I have to take that point. So we'll go into the hero phase. We're going to go for the same thing. So the Grace here is going to go for the 3d6 on the Kron Spine. That's going to fail on a 6. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rally the unit of Storm Vermin. So let's see how many I get back. So I'm going to get 5 back. Cool, and then we will go for the prayers. Vizik is going to go for Rabid Tough, which he's going to get with a 6, which I am going to take, and I'm going to put on himself, so he's going to be -1 to wound. And then second's prayer is going to be Filth Crust, which he's going to do on the Storm Vermin, if we get it, which we do. So Storm Vermin will be +1 to wound. Okay, so that's going to be it for my hero phase.
I will spend a command point here with Iridan to go for a magical intervention and try to chant for translocation on my long strikes. We fail it on a 1.
Okay, so then I'm just gonna jump into movement phase. I'm first going to just teleport the Rattling Guns through this Gnawhole to the other Gnawhole.
Don't forget you can get access to 4 extra battle reports every month by supporting the channel through our YouTube membership. Hit the join button below the video to learn more.
Alrighty, so that's going to be it for my movement phase.
I will spend a command point here to redeploy my prosecutors for 5.
Nice. Okay, so now because you have the Mirror Shield with the Knight Azyros and you made the 4-up redeploy to get enough away, the Rattling Guns actually have no target.
All right, well, I guess it'll just be me for shooting, and I'm gonna go for covering fire with my long strikes into Vizik. Now he's -1 to wound and -1 hit from covering fire, so
yep.
We're just gonna try our best. So we'll be 4s and 4s here. So that's gonna be 12 damage at Rend 3 going through.
Okay, so that will go straight to my ward save, which I will make perfectly average for, so I will take 8 damage. Okay, so let's first go with Vizik. He will charge. Okay, so first Vizik's going to do his Fissures in Reality ability, so he does D3 to everything units within 3, so just the 2 of them. So the Vigilors will not take any, and the Long Strikes will take 2 mortals. He will use his Gaze of the Gnaw ability on the Vigilors, so on a 2+, they will have to attack Vizik and will be -1 to hit and wound, which they get. So first I'm going to go with the Storm Vermin. I'm going to put 6 into the Long Strikes and 7 into the Vigilors, and I'm going to do all-out attack there.
When they attack, the Storm Vermin deal a total of 11 damage, taking out 3 Long Strikes and 2 Vigilors. The Vigilors then fail to deal any damage, while Vizik easily takes them out when he retaliates. Charging headlong into their enemy's ranks, Vizik Scour leads the Skaven in an aggressive strategy to put the Stormborn on their heels, and as a result takes their foe's central objective.
Cool, so that is going to be my turn. Yeah, pretty good. I wasn't expecting to get both of those prayers off because they are on a 4 and a 5. So I was possibly going to bank the first one, and then I was in between doing the -1 to wound and +1 save, or the +1 to wound was huge here for the Storm Vermin. It put them over the top to be able to kill as many. Now I was only able to get 7 of them into the Long Strikes without tagging the other Vigilors, which maybe I could have just tagged them and put everything in and I could have finished off the Long Strikes. But the way it worked out, you were able to pull out a Vizik, so I wasn't able to actually finish off the Long Strikes. I did finish off the Vigilors and tag the point, so I will get my Ordained Charge with my 2 units.
Yep.
So yeah, it kind of all worked out in the end. The covering fire was pretty brutal. I figured with the -1 to wound prayer and then being -1 to hit from covering fire, I'd be a little bit safe. Now I could have put the clan rats closer and made you shoot the clan rats. Maybe that would have been the play. I wouldn't have taken as much, but yeah, you rolled well on the covering fire. So doing 8 damage to him was pretty big.
All right, well, I guess then we're just going to jump into Stormcast turn 2. All right, for my battle tactic here, I'm going to go for Slay the Tyrants. So I have to kill a hero in combat. And in the hero phase, I just start off by trying to chant for translocation on my Long Strikes again. A 3rd one in a row for Iridan, so great start. And then my Storm Coven are going to chant for Aether Shock, targeting Vizik. On a 7, that goes off.
Okay, I'll try Tongue Bind. You get it.
All right, so that's going to make him fight last. And that is going to be it for my hero phase.
Well, I might as well go for his War Scroll Prayer, so the Death Frenzy, which I get a 4, which I'll bank. Okay, I'm going to do my 3 claw steps, and I'm going to actually move my Rattling Guns forward.
All right, then we'll jump into movement. And to finish off my movement, Yndrasta is going to come and join the fight, coming outside of 9 of Vizik. And that's it for my movement phase. Then into shooting phase, we're going to start off with Yndrasta throwing Thangavar at Vizik. And this is going to be on 3s and 2s. We miss. And then my Vigilors are going to shoot at your Rattling Gunners. They'll be on 3s and 3s. That's going to be 4 at Rend 1.
Okay, does 4 damage. Kill 1.
And that will give me +1 to hit against them, and I'm going to target them next with my Long Strikes. On 2s. And 3s. That's going to be just 1 for 2 more damage.
Okay, kill another.
Then my Storm Coven are going to target Vizik with their bolts.
The Storm Coven deal a single wound to Vizik. Then the Prosecutors deal another damage with their javelins.
And that's going to be it for my shooting.
All right, now we get to see the Rattling Guns. I'm going to spend a CP covering fire and put everything into that little Knight Azeros there. So this is going to be 12 D6 shots. 42 shots. 5s and 3s with exploding 6s. So it's only going to be 7 at Rend 1.
Going to a 4-up save. He'll save 5 of them, and then a 5-up ward. Save them both.
All right, good work, Rattling Guns.
All right, then we are just into charges. We're gonna start off with Yndrasta and making her 3d6 charge. She makes a casual 16.
Nice.
And that's it for my charges, Ridge. And I have no rampages or start of combat abilities.
Yep. So I'll do my mortals. So to the little 5-pack, we'll take 3. Yndrasta, we'll take 2.
She'll ward them both.
The bird will take none. And the prosecutors will take none. Okay, I'm just gonna choose Yndrasta as my target for -1 to hit and wound because she's pretty scary. So if I can maybe live through the other stuff, I guess. So I do roll a 2 up. So -1 to hit and wound on her.
And then because Visit's fighting last, we're going to actually attack first with the Vigilors into your little rats.
The Vigilors deal 7 damage and take down 2 more rattling guns, while the survivors deal no damage with their retaliation. The Liberators fight next, but only deal 1 damage to Vizik. Then the clan rats attack the Vigilors and deal no damage at all. The Knight Azyros then finishes off the last 2 rattling guns, while Yrden and Yndrasta have to team up to take down Vizik.
Well, at least he got to attack.
Then the prosecutors are going to pile in and attack the storm vermin.
And I am gonna do all at defense here with my last CP.
So we'll be on 3s and 3s here. So that'll be 11 at Rend 1.
Okay, +1, so I'll be back to 4s. And I'm gonna take 5.
So 10 damage.
So you kill 10.
Lastly, the storm vermin retaliate and take down 1 prosecutor.
And then at the end of the turn, we saved our last command point and we're gonna power through with the Vigilors.
Nice.
So dealing 2 mortal wounds to the clan rats on the way.
So 2 will die and then D3 will come back at the end of the turn. They'll just come back.
Responding with extreme prejudice, the warriors of the Stormcast Eternals dismantle the more aggressive Skaven forces, both reclaiming their objective and capturing the enemies.
All right, so Stormcast turn 2. Wow, lots of action. But I think it was a pretty solid turn. Obviously, a lot of games when we showcase new stuff, you don't get to see it in action or just the way it works out. Sometimes you don't. But here we've seen a bunch of the things doing well. Iridan getting into combat. Didn't do a ton, but 6 mortal wounds just from his weapon. And prosecutors, everything kind of just doing what it wants to. Yndrasta came in. Again, any of those pieces could have taken down a Vizik, but the debuffs are so good with him. Even the -1 to wound had a big effect.
Yeah, he took a while to actually go down.
Yeah.
There was a very high chance that he was. Even if I would have done, rallied him, all those things, definitely the prosecutors would have killed him at the end.
Yeah.
Could have maybe saved my storm vermin, but I figured the alt defense on them would have been better, which they put through 7 at Rend 2, but prosecutors also, with the 5 aboard too, I only was able to kill 1. So maybe it was better to rally him, I guess, but like I said, he probably was still dying.
Well, Yndrasta didn't even roll her next 6 attacks at,
That's right.
3 damage each, so.
Yeah, and obviously throwing him in, knowing that's gonna kind of happen, I was in a pickle for tactics. So, I just wanted to kind of see him actually do something. We'll talk about it at the end, I guess, but
yeah, so not obviously a bad turn at all, and puts us into a solid position going into priority for round 3. We're both cocked.
I got a 4.
And another cocked die. Definitely don't need a dice tray.
Yeah.
But
tell us in the comments.
Yeah, that's a 3 for me, so Ridge, it's gonna be up to you.
Yeah, I'm obviously gonna go.
All right, so let's jump into Skaven turn 3.
Let's do it. Okay, so start of my turn, I'm going to put the gnaw hole just back there. And we will go with attack on 2 fronts is going to be the tactic.
Okay.
So I need to take 2 points, one of which Jordan holds, but both of them are going to be ones that Jordan holds. Cool. I will go first into my spells. So we're just going to go for the Cron Spine. Same thing. You know the drill. From the Grey Seer, 3d6. That's going to go off on an 11.
Try to unbind it, but fail.
Okay, so that's going to go there. Vizic's dead, so no other prayers. All right, that's going to be my hero phase.
All right, we've got a few things to do. First, with Sentinels of Bleach Citadel, I need to give my prosecutors a 5-up ward save again. Basically been on them all game. And then I will spend a command point to rally my long strikes. We get 2 back.
Huge. Okay, so I will just go into movement. Alrighty, that's going to be all for my movement phase.
No redeploying here, but I will go for covering fire because you have no shooting to do. So with the launch strikes, and they're going to shoot at your clan rats on 4s and 3s. And that's going to be a total of 10 damage.
Okay, so we go into charges. Okay, and then the clan rats will charge for 5. Uh-oh, it's not a lot. So I'm actually going to use the CP to reroll that because I really need to get that point. And I will get a 9. Okay, so Kritok actually can strike first. One of the rules that he does have, but he doesn't get to use commands, which is fine. So I'm just going to put all the attacks into the Liberators.
Kritok deals 2 damage and kills a Liberator, then the Storm Vermin use all-out attack and wipe out the Liberators, but only deal 4 damage to Andrasta thanks to all-out defense. Next, the Prosecutors take out the last few Storm Vermin, while the Clan Rats fail to deal any damage at all. The Long Strikes then fail to deal any damage, while they suffer 1 casualty in return.
All right, now the big boys get to attack.
Yes, let's go with Iridan first into your Storm Vermin.
Iridan deals just 4 damage to the Storm Vermin, though Andrasta takes down 9 more of the rats when she fights.
So we'll go with the clan rats are going to bring back D3 for just 1. Okay, and then at the end of my turn, I'm going to spend a CP, and because those last 3 Storm Vermin died, I am going to bring back 10, and they're going to go just over here, outside 3, on the point back here.
And then Iridan is going to use his Rampage Dart Flight to try and get a free retreat here. He'll get that off on a 2.
Nice.
Scheming and swarming all over the battlefield, the Skaven forces showcase their cunning and use every trick they have to take control of almost every objective.
Okay, so back for my turn, I am going to get 10 here, so that's pretty big. So I am going to be able to get more. Now, I could have brought back 3 Rattling Guns as well, which I was thinking here, but with Iridan's move...
We were talking about the retreat potential.
Yes, you could have done, on the 2-up, retreated anywhere and possibly taken my point back on with the Gracier. So, yeah, the guns might be good for later, but that would deny my tactic and also deny me more. So I went with the safe play. Now I left those 3 Storm Vermin in combat for that reason, knowing that if you kill those 3 that I can bring back 10, because 3 Rattling Guns wouldn't take it over here. So at the end of the day, I will score the big 10. Now with the Gracier popping through the gnaw hole, just a big easy play with the gnaw hole over there. Skaven always have these little tricks to kind of still score points and everything. Going to the combat, the Storm Vermin actually did so much damage. Like they put through a lot at Ren 2, but Andrasta's on a 2-up, 5-up. You rolled well with the saves, and then even better with the wards. So I only did 4 damage to her, and then I put all the clan rats into, just trying to do
take
something.
her down, yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, yeah, I wasn't able to take her down. Kritok has been pretty, for 220 points, I'll just say he has not done his points. He did get +1 to wound here to the Storm Vermin, so that was actually really nice. But yeah. So pretty good turn.
Yep.
In general at the end, and
yeah, very solid. So scoring well, and we're gonna jump into Stormcast Eternals turn 3. All right, so into my turn, we're gonna go for attack on 2 fronts, no surprise. And then I'll just get into the action with Iridan going for translocation on the prosecutors. We get it off this time, they're teleporting. And then the Storm Coven are going to try and cast Ravanax Gnashing Jaws. And we'll get that on an 8.
I'll try with the Gracier. You get it.
And then they'll also cast the Emerald Life Swarm, but fail it on a 3. And that's the end of my hero phase.
Okay, and then I'm going to move the Gracier 6 inches with 3 claw steps.
And then I'll get into movement, and I'm going to start off by teleporting my Storm Coven through the Sigmar Porta Potty. So into shooting, I'm going to start off with my prosecutors. They're just going to shoot at your gnaw hole on 3s and 3s for just 2 damage. And then we'll shoot the launch strikes at the clan rats in the center. And that's going to be 12 damage.
Okay, couple 6s.
Then my Vigilors at the Storm Vermin. We'll have 2 at Rend 1.
Okay, kill 2.
And lastly, the Storm Coven at the Gnaw Hole for 4 damage. And that's all the shooting, so into charges now. We're gonna start off with my prosecutors. So that's all the charges.
Kritok does have strike first, so he will just stay there. He's within 3, and he will put everything into your Andrasta. That's gonna be 4 damage.
All right, so on her ward save, she saves 2, and she's still alive.
Oh.
I will fight next with the prosecutors into the Storm Vermin and use all-out attack. That's gonna be 10 at Rend 1.
Yeah, definitely killed him. All right, so we're just gonna go all-out attack and just put everything from the Storm Vermin into the Vigilors in the top left corner. Okay, so this is going to be 2s and 4s. 14 at Rend 2.
5 up saves. So you'll deal 9 damage and kill most of them. I'll fight next with Iridan into your Storm Vermin. He'll get +1 hit because they were shot by the Vigilors. So 2s and 3s here. So 2 D3 mortals for 3, and then the mounts, 4 more damage.
Okay, 1 is alive.
And let's see if the Vigilor can finish him off. 1 at Rend 1.
6, nope, you got him.
I'll fight next with the Andrasta and obviously put all her attacks into the clan rats. So Thangravar first on 2s. 2 at Rend 2 for 3 damage each.
Sweet.
And then her sword, just 1 more for 3 more damage, so 9 total.
All right, you got him.
The last unit of clan rats attacks next and deals 1 damage to the Knight Azeros, who fails to do anything in return.
Then I'll just have my Jaws and Storm Coven into your gnaw holes.
While both gnaw holes take a little more damage, surprisingly neither one is destroyed. Displaying the devastating potential of their hit-and-run tactics, the Stormcast Eternals win many of the engagements all across the battlefield and look like they may finally have the tactical advantage they've needed.
All right, that's it for Stormcast turn 3, and we did a lot of things here, but actually kind of let a couple points slip away. We will get hold 1 and hold 2, but not hold more, because I don't take this objective. Now, I wanted to do everything and maybe got a little overzealous, because obviously the Knight Azeros kind of whiffed here. I didn't do any shooting, so didn't take the clan rats down. There was a world in which I easily could have put the Storm Coven on the other objective and let Iridan over here and played a little bit more for points, or even saved a CP to be able to power through with my prosecutors to take this objective. So I'll only take 3 objectives and get 4 points for primary, but again, those 2 points were on the table, and I do take 2 objectives from you though, so I'll still get the battle tactic for an 8-point turn here, which actually puts me down 28 to 26, heading into Prio for round 4 Ridge.
Yep.
That's a 1.
I got a 3. Yeah, I'll obviously keep the turn order the way it is.
All right, so let's jump into Skaven turn 4.
Okay, so for my turn, I'm going to just take the flanks. Easily positioned with the clan rats and the Greyseer there. All right, so let's just go for the Fight Last spell from the Greyseer, and we'll cast it like always on 3d6. Okay, we're gonna get that on a 12. So the Fight Last will be on the prosecutors, and I will just, that'll be done. That's it for my hero phase.
I will spend a command point here to go for a magical intervention with Iridan and try to translocate on himself, and he'll get that off. And I'll spend a command point to rally the Vigilors and get 1 back.
Okay, and then I'll just go into movement phase. So that's my movement phase.
No redeploys for me, but I am going to spend a command point for covering fire with my launch strikes and shoot at your clan rats, 4s and 3s. That's going to be 2 at rend 2 for 4 damage.
So 4 die. So then we go to charges. We're just going to charge with the Cron Spine for a 6. So Kritok can actually use all attack and put everything into Yndrasta. This is going to be on 2s. 2 at rend 2.
5s, save them both.
Nice. Let's go for the moral victory. The Cron Spine will just try to kill Yndrasta. So 4s and 2s, only 1. So 5.
She saves it.
Never dying.
Yeah. Then I'll get to fight with the prosecutors, and they're in range and going to put all their attacks into the Cron Spine. And that'll be 8 at rend 1.
7 go through, take 6.
And then Yndrasta is going to fight Kritok and try and slay the rat. 2s and 2s. 1 at rend 2.
Save it.
3s and 3s here. So 2 at rend 2 again.
Both go through.
For 6 damage.
You got him.
Then we're going to get to fight into both of the Gnawholes again. Second attempt. So with the Ravnax.
Need to make 1. I do. Take 1.
It's still alive.
Yeah.
The Storm Coven. We'll do 6 at rend 1.
Yep, you got her. Okay, so then end of my turn, I'm gonna bring back D3 red clan rats, which won't really matter because I can't take this point. I will only be able to get 2 more on, which I guess I might as well. And yeah, because you rallied this guy, I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit anything on this point. So I guess I just bring back 3 rattling guns over on this point. Yeah, so then I'm actually not going to get any of these, so I will just hold 1 and then get my tactic for 5.
Yeah, and a big translocation with Iridan denied 1 of them, but there's definitely, I had to be very careful. There was definitely lots of tricks that Skaven has to get different points, so.
Well, there were 2 here. Like, easily, if you didn't rally this guy back, I could have fit 2 Stormvermin here. I would have got that. If you didn't kill this Gnawhole, I would have been able to fit 6 there. Or 10 on that one.
Yep. The clan rats I had to cover in fire to make sure you didn't have enough bodies to keep this objective.
Yep. And I couldn't not retreat out because I needed to get my tactic. So it didn't matter. Both ways, it was like you were able to shut it down. So.
Yep, but still 5 points here.
It's actually 6 points, but who's counting, right?
And let's jump into Stormcast turn 4.
Looking to keep things simple, the Stormcast choose take their land for their battle tactic this turn.
And then into spellcasting, the Storm Coven is going to try and dispel or banish your Cron Spine.
All right, he's perfectly dead.
And then Iridan's going to try his War Scroll Prayer, Prayer of the Witness, and chant that on himself. He only gets a 2, so he's going to bank those points. And then for Sentinels of the Bleached Citadel, I'm going to give a 5-up ward save to my prosecutors. And I'm going to remember for once to do their finest hour with one of my units. So good time to finally remember that. And we're going to do it on the prosecutors.
I'll do my 3 claw steps and just put a couple more clan rats on here, but it's only going to be able to fit a few.
And then in the start of movement, I'm going to spend a command point for my once per game ability to bring back a unit at half strength. And then the rest of my movement. Into shooting, my Vigilors are going to shoot at the Gnawhole. and put 2 through at round 1.
Take one.
Then my launch strikes are going to shoot these clan rats. And that's going to be it for my shooting phase. And then I'm going to jump into charges. We'll have the 3d6 with my 2 units and go with the prosecutors first. And that's all the charges. We are then would head into combat. Here, prosecutors into ratlings, with Indrasa potentially as well. My Iridan into your Claw Lord, and 3 clan rats. The obvious expectation is that we're going to be able to kill the last couple of units that you have.
Yes, we're going to save ourselves 15 minutes here.
Yeah.
And to get to go home a little bit earlier because clearly these things are going to be dead.
Yes, and again with, even before that, it's going to, the board state, put things out of range.
Yeah.
Probably able to take down the Nahals as well. So, ridden the vermin from the lands is the goal here. And here I will take control of all the objectives. So that hold 1, hold 2, hold more for 6 points. And the battle tactic of take their land for another 4 points for a 10-point turn. And then again, I think I still have a couple tactics. Take the flanks or reclaim the realms in turn 5 for another 10-point turn.
Yeah, 1 in each quarter will be very easy for turn 5,
Yeah, but cool showing for some of the new Stormcast units, I think was a big takeaway here.
Yeah, the new models have some really cool abilities, like just being able to move after. And the prosecutors actually did some work the whole game. I didn't really get a chance to take them down or do anything really. 5 of them ran around pretty much all game.
Yeah, part of that was the Knight Azeros at the start, letting them move at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
But I didn't keep him in range because I could have made better use of their ability throughout the game. I think if he was more central here, I could have been doing that on different turns, getting them out of combat on both player turns. So.
Yeah, I couldn't take down the long strikes. Was just shitty with Vizek was I obviously played him pretty aggressively in that second turn to try to get him in to do some work, but there's a good chance he's going down no matter what. But in this list I didn't have too much other than the 220 packs of Storm Vermin. I don't have that much stuff.
You don't have big hammers or
no.
anything.
So he needed to, I feel, if I just sat back I was gonna, I wouldn't have been able to kill enough of your stuff, and eventually you would kill me. And I saw the long strikes, so I thought I was gonna be able to take the 6 of them down in that turn, but just the way activations worked out. I could have maybe fought with Vizek first, but maybe he doesn't kill them. They're 3-up save, and I'm only 1 rend.
Yeah.
So
and minus one hit. Yeah, from cover.
So yeah, the long strikes are great.
Yeah, they've been strong, and a lot of the stuff obviously with the new Stormcast book stayed the same. Just to touch on it quick. So yeah, launch strikes are very deadly, especially with priority target at the time of recording. Who knows? There's rumor of or we're supposed to be getting balance pass update soon, but we haven't yet at the time of recording. But then some star showings from the new units. Again, Iridan is a priest. It's okay, only a level 1 priest, but decent combat, good mobility, and the Trixie ability to get out of combat is huge in both player turns.
And the translocation, it's incredible.
Well, that's just from a priest standpoint. Yep. So he's very solid. Really like him. The Knight Azeros, similarly, especially with prosecutors, he gives some good reliability. Helps the prosecutors stick around longer. Like you said, Rich, if you get the chance to go into them, they go down fast. So if you have a unit or 2, it's definitely potentially really interesting to take him. At times he can do all right damage on his own, but didn't really do great against the clan rats this game. But then actually maybe the MVPs were the terrain piece, the teleport. I only used it once or twice, but it's obviously really good.
Yeah.
And potentially something like the prosecutors lets you have them on the board, get your buffs up, and then teleport them out. Or just here, a late game teleport like we did with the Storm Coven, who are probably the other shining star from this game.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Up to a 2-cast wizard when they're contesting an objective. They have solid little chip shooting, solid little chip damage in combat. Very respectable damage for that unit. It's 9 wounds.
Yeah.
And it has a strike first / strikes last spell, which is incredible.
Yeah, all the little warbands seem to be awesome. And the new ones they come out with, they always have good rules.
Yeah, but again, great showing here. Good to see some of the Skaven stuff out again.
Yeah, the Vizek, like I said, I screwed it up with his rules in the first game, so I didn't really get to utilize much of the prayers in Jordan's turn. I played him a little aggressively, which is you know, I don't know. Like I said, in this list, not the
Didn't
greatest.
pan out in this
No,
one.
and Crit Talk's not, like 220 points, he's way too much, didn't really do much. Storm Vermin are 140, which is a bit expensive. So this obviously wasn't the most competitive list, but I wanted to at least show Crit Talk and some Storm Vermin and play the Claw Horde, which was good. Ren 2 on the charge, they can do some crazy damage. And even the Clan Rats can do some crazy damage, and they're so good, like coming back to life.
Yeah.
The Rattling Guns too are actually amazing. They didn't get a good showing here.
I was just thinking about that. Didn't get the chance to.
Yeah, because with covering fire on 5s, it is 1,000,000 shots, but you were able to kill 2, so I didn't have as many.
Yeah.
And you're able to mitigate this battle plan. Everything was in the woods all game, so it's like
Early, yeah.
one of the battle plans that was like it really didn't get to utilize.
And that's big because I had choice and made you go first, right?
Yeah.
So if you win the roll off, it's the reverse, right? Where I kind of have to play a little more cagey, or vice versa, right? So
yeah, but they are very, very strong. Don't let this battle report show that the Rattling Guns aren't good, because they're very good.
And here you could have cover and fired on the Liberators. That's why I brought them down there as a screen in front of my 3d6 charges, but wouldn't have mattered, wouldn't have changed anything here, so.
No, would have been.
Didn't affect the outcome.
More rolling, that is one thing. It's a lot of rolling, so if you're going to run a bunch of Rattlings, which I'm going to run a Scryer build next, which is going to be a lot of Rattling Guns and the new Galvaniers. So.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, that'll wrap things up for us here today. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this battle report. If you did, don't forget you get an extra video every week, and we'll have another Stormcast game coming up exclusively for channel members. So if you want to join our membership, you'll get an extra video every week. But again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon in the next one.
Have a good week, everybody.